Have you ever wondered how cheese is made? Ah, the allure of cheese, that melt-in-your-mouth marvel, a symphony of textures and flavors. From the humble sandwich to the most extravagant gourmet dish, cheese is an undeniable staple in our diets. But have you ever paused to ponder the journey of this delicious dairy delight? From farm to factory to your fridge, what transpires behind the scenes? Today, we will take a look at how this delicious dairy product is made. Before we dive into the process, let's understand what cheese is. Cheese, in its most basic form, is a dairy product derived from milk and produced in a wide range of flavors, textures, and forms. It's an ancient food whose origins predate recorded history. It's thought that cheese was first discovered around 8,000 years ago when sheep were first domesticated. Cheese can be made from various types of milk, including cows, goats, sheep, buffaloes, and even camel's milk. The type of milk used can significantly impact the flavor and texture of the cheese. Cheese can range from mild and creamy, like a fresh mozzarella, to hard and pungent, like a vintage cheddar. Across the globe, there are over 2,000 varieties of cheese, each with its unique characteristics. From the creamy brie of France, the tangy feta of Greece, to the pungent blue cheese of England, the variety is truly astounding. Cheese is a versatile food item with a fascinating making process. The journey of cheese starts with its essential raw material, milk. Now, not all milk is made equal, and the choice of milk affects the final product significantly. Take cow's milk, for instance, the most commonly used type in cheese making worldwide. It's rich and buttery, lending itself to a variety of cheese textures and flavors, from sharp cheddar to creamy brie. Then there's goat's milk, a bit of a maverick in the cheese world. It imparts a distinct tangy flavor, making cheeses like chèvre stand out. Sheep's milk, on the other hand, is a real heavyweight, boasting the highest fat content of them all. This is why you'll find it in rich and creamy cheeses like Roquefort and Manchego. And let's not forget buffalo's milk, the secret behind the luxurious creaminess of authentic Italian mozzarella. Whether from a cow, goat, sheep or buffalo, the type and quality of milk are essential for the cheese's final flavor and texture. Now let's delve into the fascinating process of cheese making. The first and perhaps the most critical step is curdling the milk. This is where our journey begins. Imagine, if you will, a vat of warm, fresh milk. We introduce something called a starter culture to this milk. This is a friendly bacteria that helps acidify the milk. As the milk becomes more acidic, it begins to curdle, transforming from a liquid into a semi-solid state. This transformation is a marvel to behold. The curdled milk is now a delicate mass of curds swimming in a sea of watery whey. Now it's time to cut the curd. This isn't a random act of dairy destruction, oh no. Cutting the curd is done methodically, reducing the curd into smaller pieces. This action helps release more whey from the curds. Depending on the type of cheese we're making, the size to which we cut the curds can vary. Smaller curds will give us a harder cheese, while larger curds result in a softer cheese. Now we've reached the cooking stage. This is where things start to heat up, quite literally. The curds and whey are gently heated, causing the curds to contract and release even more whey. The heat applied and the duration of cooking can significantly affect the final product. A higher temperature and longer cooking time will give us a firmer, more crumbly cheese, while a lower temperature and shorter cooking time yield a softer, creamier cheese. After cooking, the curd is now ready for the next step, draining and pressing. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll explore that in the next part of our cheese-making adventure. For now, just imagine the warm, cooked curds, full of potential, ready to be molded into a delicious array of cheeses. The artistry and science involved in this process is truly a testament to the magic of cheese-making. We now move on to the next stages in our cheese-making journey. After the curdling, cutting and cooking of the curds, we proceed to the next important steps: draining, pressing and aging. Draining is the process where the whey, the liquid part of the milk, is separated from the curds. This can be done through a simple process of pouring off the whey or by using a curd mill to cut the curds into smaller pieces, making it easier to drain off the whey. Next comes pressing. This is where the curds are packed into a mold and pressure is applied to remove any remaining whey and to shape the cheese. The amount of pressure applied and the duration of pressing can greatly influence the texture and flavor of the final product. Pressing can range from a few hours to a full day, depending on the type of cheese being made. Last but certainly not least, we have aging, also known as maturation or affinage. This is when the cheese is stored in a controlled environment for a period of time to allow it to develop its unique flavor and texture. The aging process can take anywhere from a few weeks to several years. During this time, the cheese undergoes a variety of biochemical processes. Essentially, it's when the cheese gets its personality. After weeks or even months of aging, the cheese is finally ready to be enjoyed. The journey from milk to cheese is a fascinating one, filled with science, art, and a dash of magic. So, that's the journey of milk from a liquid to a delicious piece of cheese. It's quite a fascinating process, isn't it? Let's quickly recap. We start with the raw material, milk. This milk, laden with potential, is carefully selected and prepared. Then through a series of steps including pasteurization, adding cultures and rennet, curdling and cooking, we see the transformation begin. And then the curd is cut, stirred and drained, slowly taking on that familiar cheese form. This block of curd is then pressed, giving it the final shape and texture. After a period of aging, where the cheese develops its unique flavor, we're left with the end product, a piece of cheese ready to be savored and enjoyed. So, every time you bite into a piece of cheese, remember the journey it has gone through, the process, the patience, and the craft that has gone into its making. Thank you very much for watching.